computer so that I can put this on my YouTube after for you guys. We are going to be starting on our backs because my friend Abby, who's joining us, just had another knee surgery. So she can only really keep her one leg like this. So we are going to start on our backs, just slowly, however you got to make it there. Make it there. Your legs can come out wide if they want, or you can make them long. Your hands can come out wherever. Let's just start to relax here. I'm going to play just some nice, like, no word meditation music. So everyone can kind of just start to center themselves, start to breathe a little bit. It's a long weekend, so we have nice holiday to celebrate tomorrow, but some people still have work, even if you don't have school. So being mindful of your place on this Sunday night, whether you're watching football with your family or getting ready for that day tomorrow. Tune into whatever place that you are at right now. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Nothing is forced yet, so this is just your natural breath, natural rhythm of your own body. And starting to be mindful of maybe some of the little cricks that you might start to feel, or maybe you're uncomfortable with how your sit bones, your hips, or your heels are placed. Maybe your shoulders, you need to kind of push them back and lift your chest up a little bit. Rotating your head side to side. Giving yourself a little kiss on your right shoulder. Coming back to center and breathing and dropping off to the left side, kissing your left shoulder. And then coming back to center, and with that mindful breath, starting to elongate your inhale, filling up your chest cavity, pushing those shoulders into the ground and lifting your chest up to the sky, lifting your chin, filling up as much space as you can. Exhaling, feeling your belly button collapse, your chest sink back down to the ground. Maybe your chin tucks a little bit. Becoming more mindful of that deep breath. Go ahead and inhale your right leg up to your chest. Go ahead, grab that knee and just pull it in. Maybe you feel a little bit of that hip flexor, like, ooh, maybe I need to pop that after a long day. That feels good. And just let that right hand guide the knee up and open. For my girl Abby, if you can't bend this knee, start on the other one. It's all good. I can't remember which leg it was. I think it was your left, so you're good. Hold this leg open here and then inhale it back up to center, squeeze it in. Exhale and drop it over to the other side for supine twist. Let yourself, oh yeah, my back just cracked. Let yourself twist open, bringing your right hand out to a T, and looking in the opposite direction to allow the spinal twist to happen. Breathing in and exhaling to twist a little bit more. One more deep breath. And with your next inhale, slowly guide that knee back up to your chest. Give it one more hug. And inhale that left knee up now. Abby, you can keep the one leg extended. It's all good. You can hold yourself here. Now send the right leg out. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So just hug that leg in. Abby, you can just roll around here if you want. But we're going to drop that left leg open to the side, seeing if that hip opens naturally, kind of being mindful with your breath, mindful with your movements of where you're still maybe holding on to some tension, you're hesitating, you're not fully letting that knee and that hip release. Start to breathe to those areas. of discomfort. Noticing where you don't want to breathe to. It's probably what needs to pop or crack a little bit. So inhale that knee back up, give it a big hug, and then drop it over to the opposite side. Supine twist. Same thing. And bring that left arm out to a T. Look off behind you. Your hands can both come out, or you can keep your right hand on your knee to kind of guide it over there. Inhaling and exhaling to twist a little bit more. Taking one more deep breath in, side out, and then inhale to bring that knee back up to center. You can bring both knees up, squeeze them in one last time, and then send them both out long. Go ahead, point your toes. I'll scoot up a little bit. Point your toes, and then flex them back, trying to touch your toes to your shins, and then relax them. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, point your toes again. Just simple flexion and extension of these little muscles. Michelle, I had to do this with Liana this morning for her weak ankles. So this is a great little thing to give you a little bit more stability and mobility if you want to fan them out to the sides, making a big V, and then bring them back to center, making a little teepee. Go ahead and do this 1 or 2 times, and then come back to this relaxed, laying down spot. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. With your next inhale, go ahead and slide your arms up behind you. Grab your fingers, interlace your fingers behind you, or grab a wrist. And just stretch up and long. Feel your spine stretch. And a nice line, filling up as much space as you can on the ground. Exhaling, dropping the shoulders, keeping your arms up behind your head. Take another deep breath in. Feel your chest and your heart lifted, your chin raised. Take another deep breath. And slowly with your exhale, fan your arms back down to your sides. When you feel like these hands are grounded, whether you have to do some wrist circles here before you press into the earth, whatever you have to do to make yourself comfy, go ahead, press them in, and with your inhale, just slowly push yourself up into a seated position. You can take, if your hair's all wacky, your sweatshirt's all wacky, it doesn't matter. Stay comfy. And so I'm doing classes like this is weird because you look at yourself and it's like, that's not yoga. Take another deep breath in and close your eyes so you're not looking at the screen. Let your head drop down in front of you. Your chin coming to your chest, feeling that stretch in your neck, your shoulders, your upper back. Take another deep breath in and inhale your hands up to the sky. Stretch up, each hand at a time. And then with your next inhale in, fill up as much as you can, reach as tall as you can. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Try and grab those toes. Keep those toes flexed. Try to touch those shins like we were before. And just grab onto these toes, or you can show your ankles, a little bit of holding, or your shins if you can't reach, or if you gotta add a little bend, whatever you gotta do. Some of you have no problem holding your feet and you have something like a block, like a big book, and you want to try and bend your knees to grab behind the block to get a little bit more of a calf and hamstring stretch. Whatever you got to do to make yourself feel comfy, go ahead and breathe to this for just one deep breath in. And one more long breath out. Let your head drop. Inhale and slowly, keeping your fingertips on your legs, come back up to a tall spine. Chest and chin are lifted. Go ahead, whatever leg you want to start with, draw the knee up to the chest. Just let it stay here. Cross it over the leg. Inhale your hands up. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to bring the opposite elbow to that knee. Feel this twist, and if that's comfy, place the knee that you bent, that same hand is going to come behind you. You can fan this arm out, or you can keep it bent. Just use this as like a pivot point to twist open, keeping your chest and your chin lifted for one breath in, one breath out. Now go ahead, release that elbow, place both hands behind you. Kind of feel that stretch in your shoulder, uncross your leg. Send it back down, or you can bring both knees up if you don't have a torn ACL right now, and drop those knees off side to side. And go ahead, whatever knee you didn't just bend, you can go ahead and do this again, or we're going to be coming out of some of these seated poses here in a bit. So if you got your stretch, then I hope you did. And with this, you're going to cross that foot over. Inhale those hands up, bring your hands together to heart center and twist to the opposite side. Bring that hand behind you and use that bent elbow to twist off of that knee. Try and get a little bit of that back crack here for one deep breath in. And one deep breath out. Go ahead, release that elbow, plant both hands behind you. Uncross the foot and draw both legs up. Now we are going to sway them side to side. See if you get a little hip pop there or something. And when you feel this motion of your knees dropping off side to side, let your knees fully touch if they can, because we're going to drop them off to the right side. Keep your right hand planted and lift your left hand up. Cross it over. And when that hand is planted, you're going to keep your knees right where they are. And just look behind you for twisted sphinx and just start to lower and twist. Bring your head down to the ground. You can start to move yourself back to the midline if you need a little bit more of a twist, or you don't have to drop your head if you don't want. Just keeping the right knee bent and the left leg down the long side of your mat and your shin parallel to the front of the mat, keeping these little right angles as you twist open for one more breath in, one more breath out. Push yourself back up and open. Bring your hands behind you and twist the legs, dropping them side to side. We're going to do the same thing now, just on the left. So drop them off to the left, keep that right shin parallel to the front of the mat. Bring the right hand up and over. So now you're looking behind you. Okay, feel this twist. Same twisted sphinx on the other side. When you get there, you find that midline, you get that stretch, start to lower onto your forearms. Find comfort here and see if you can drop down, bringing your forehead to the mat. If you can't, that's totally okay. If that's not your stretch, don't worry about it. But breathe here for one more deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. Now go ahead and start to push yourself back up. Bring that right hand back and over, dropping the knees off side to side. And as you're dropping them off side to side, start to disrupt that fluid, synchronized movement, and just let them both drop open, fanning out and bringing the soles of your feet together for butterfly, and scooch your hips forward. So maybe your sit bones almost touch your heels, feeling that stretch, using your hands to push you forward, or coming back a little bit and bringing your heels in a little bit more, pushing yourself up on those sit bones so you have a nice tall posture, okay? However, these legs fold. See, I can't get my knees to push down at all. So however this looks like for you, you can hold your feet and use those elbows to kind of push those knees open. Maybe that helps you get a little pop. One more deep breath in. Sigh it out. And then take those feet and send them out wide. See if you can touch your toes here for this seated wide leg fold, or you can place your hands out in front of you and start to try and walk them, dropping your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Take one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Bring those hands back up into your lap. It's like you're petting your mat or something. Bring those feet back to the center. Bring them in. Ooh, my knee just cracked. Yeah. So bring them in. Scooch up so you're seating in this tall seated position. You're going to place your hands in front of you. Pull yourself up onto your knees, uncross your legs, and start to wiggle back so that your feet come together. Your knees are out as wide as the mat, and you send those hips back, letting your chest, your chin, and your forehead slowly drop to the mat for child's pose. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feel a little bit of heat, a little bit of energy that you may have just created with just little tiny movements at the beginning. Feeling that energy run up to your fingertips, feeling that press into the mat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Go ahead, start to walk your hands over to the left side with your inhale. And when you find an area of comfort, sigh it out and let yourself drop down, surrendering to this little side stretch, letting your ribs and this side body feel that stretch that it needs after a long day. Take another deep breath in and another deep breath out. Your next inhale, start to walk those hands back to center. Find that long spinal stretch in child's pose. Breathe everything out, and with your next inhale, walk everything over to the right side until you find that place of comfort. Just like you did on the opposite side, it may not be as far or it may be further, depending on how the different sides of your body feel tonight. So breathe here and let your head drop. Inhaling yourself back up to center, feeling this long stretch. And we're gonna go through this little side stretch flow, just back and forth as you connect to your breath, inhaling back to center, exhaling, stretching to the side. Inhaling back to center and stretching over to the side and moving at your own pace, your own breath, not watching me because I need to stop and have a sip of water. So moving now with your breath, feeling that side body. Maybe your one side needs it more than the other. So you hold that longer. You can hold your breath for 3 breaths in a pose. You don't have to keep it fluid. Whenever you're ready, make your way back to this normal child's pose. You can take another second if you'd like. But breathe here, lowering your forehead to the mat, and start to walk your hands behind you, bringing them to your lower back. Just interlace your fingers behind you, like hold your own hands behind your back. With your inhale, you're gonna push into your forehead, lift, kind of pushing on the knees too, lifting up the hips, and as your hips lift, you lift your hands and your arms behind you, stretching your shoulders, rotating onto the crown of your head, and keeping the hands and shoulders where they are, feeling that stretch, feeling your chest and your shoulders open up, but remembering to sink your hips a little bit lower with each of your exhales. We're going to hold this for one long deep breath in. And one more deep breath out to slowly lower those hands back down to your lower back. And then release your fingers, let your hands drop behind you. Palms facing up. A little bit more restorative form of child's pose. You can take this little moment to set an intention for yourself just for the little rest of this little class that you guys very nicely decided to join this evening. So thank you, but it is your practice, so you do have to go ahead and set a little mini intention of positivity for yourself or for what you hope to you expect to get out of this for yourself. And breathe in anything that may help you achieve that intention, that little affirmation that you set for yourself. And exhale out everything that does not serve your intention. Bring your hands back up in front of you, regular child's pose. See if you can stretch them out a little bit longer this time. Lift your head and your chin. Open your eyes, like bat them open a little bit. See the light again, like, ooh, I just had my eyes closed for a little bit. That was nice. Breathe to this as you pull yourself up into a tabletop position, okay? Start to feel that weight distribution between your wrists and your knees with your feet, tops of your feet pressed down into the ground. Maybe you lift your knees up just to feel the difference there, but you're gonna walk yourself back to sit on your heels. Your sit bones are tall. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can get a pillow, a blanket, a block, and place that under your butt here so it takes the pressure off of your knees. Anything can work. I use a pillow every morning with my mom because my knee hurts. So take a deep breath in here. Maybe press your chest forward, push your shoulders back. Sit strong, tall, and proud. Let your hands come down beside you and lift your chin up to the sky. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands back down. Now inhale your hands halfway. Bring them to a T and have your palms face down. Kind of feel yourself start to push down on that invisible air, that energy that you're creating, you're pumping with your hands. And now make your palms face up and slowly just bring those palms back to your center, bringing your hands to heart. Take a deep breath in, exhale, send those hands behind your head. Bring them back together, palms facing up, and shoot your hands back up to the sky. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, keep your hands together. Bring your hands down your midline, hands to heart center. Remind yourself of the little intention that you set. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Go ahead, plant both hands beside you. And you can remove this little block if you want. But press your left hand down, your right hand, whatever you want to start with. Press down to the ground and inhale the opposite hand up and over. Feel yourself inhale to expand, keeping the chest lifted. You're not collapsing on your heart, but as you exhale, you drop. Maybe you bring that forearm to the ground, and that helps you reach a little bit further. You want to keep that right hip pressed as far into the ground as you can. But reach just one more long breath in. Deep breath out and push yourself up with your inhale. Reach tall. Breathe in, exhale, fan your arms out long down to your sides. Tuck your chin to your chest. Feel that stretch in your neck, your upper back again. Now press your opposite hand into the ground. Inhale the other up and over. Same thing on the opposite side. Feeling the side body stretch and keeping the chest, the heart open. Making sure your lungs aren't constricted and your chin is uplifted towards the sky for a deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. Go ahead, push yourself back up, reach up as tall as you can. Plant your hands down by your sides, and as you plant them down, just start to give yourself some gentle neck circles. Inhaling to lift your head up and back. Exhaling to drop your chin back down to your chest. Go ahead and move through a couple of these breath cycles. until your head drops back down and you switch directions, keeping the same breath flow. Exhaling with the drop of the head. Inhaling as your chin lifts. Go ahead and just do this one more time until you come back to center. When you find that stillness, breathe those hands in and up. And instead of bringing them back down to your sides, fan them out in front of you for like a child's pose, but your knees are just tucked in. And pull yourself up into that tabletop again. And now we're gonna get comfy, a little bit more comfier here for a longer bit of time, dropping those hips off side to side a little bit. Maybe you have to put a blanket under one of your knees or under one of your wrists if you need just a little bit extra support there. Go ahead and do whatever you need to do as you get comfortable on this tabletop and start to move your way through these cat-cow poses as you inhale to lift your chest up to the sky. Letting the natural curvature of your spine happen. Gravity takes place, your belly button drops. And then as you tuck the chin in, your spine draws up to the sky. Your belly button comes in, tries to touch that spine. And you let everything go. Coming up back into cow pose with your inhale, exhale, moving through these cat-cows, these little spinal mobility stretches. Take another deep breath in, deep breath out. And find your way back to a normal tabletop position. And we're gonna extend our right leg out and just press down into those heels. Feel that stretch, feel that knee kind of lose some of the tension. It's been holding there for a second, and then bring it back up to meet the left. Get comfy here and then send your left leg out. Feel the same stretch, pressing the heel down to the earth, feeling the muscles in your shin. Get that nice little pull and then let it go. Draw that knee back up to come back into tabletop. Now we're gonna extend both legs out. Hold this plank and trust me for a second. It's like, oh, plank's at 7:30 at night. No way, Jose. But hold this here. Create that power in your wrists from your toes, coming forward and sending it back. Just kind of feeling where you're balanced in this plank. And slowly with control, keep your elbows tucked, your biceps, your core are engaged, and you lower yourself all the way down onto your stomach. Let the tops of your feet come out long. It's like, ooh, I need to go to the gym. That's how I feel right now. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Baby cobra. Your elbows, your forearms, your hands are still pressed into the mat. Inhale up and exhale, drop everything down to the ground. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let everything out. Now inhale, do the same thing. You can keep this mini cobra for the back bend here, or you can lift up just a little bit more or all the way for upward facing dog. Our knees and our legs are still pressed into the ground here. As we exhale and lower everything back down. This next time when we come up, we're gonna stay up and push ourselves into downward dog. So just prepare yourself to get that strength in your arms and your tummies. Inhaling to lift up all the way, tucking those toes behind you, pressing into those hands, lifting the knees and sending the hips up and back. For downward dog, go ahead and pedal out those feet, bringing them in a little bit closer if you need to. Feeling the difference in your hands, in your palms, making sure that you're not getting any pinching there. And let your head drop down, let it bob. Take another deep breath here and try and find stillness in your down dog. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Go ahead, inhale that right foot up to the sky. Really feel the stretch, keeping the toes pointed down to the ground, but still lifting them up and feeling the stretch in the back of the left leg. Go ahead, bend the knee and draw it up to your hands. Plant that foot. You can either stay right here in this lunge, or you can just drop your knee. This is the same exact stretch, so don't worry about whatever feels better right now. It's nighttime for me, so I feel you. But keep this runner's lunge. As you find your balance, you inhale, lift your hands up to the sky. Your knees look like this if it's dropped, and maybe you get a little bit more of a back bend. But hold this here for one deep breath in, one deep breath out. Go ahead, plant your hands on the ground. Just keep your left hand planted and twist, bringing that right hand up to the sky. Your knee can be dropped here too if you need it to be. For 2 nice long breaths, feeling this in your right glutes. Maybe you need to come forward in that lunge again and pop something before you twist open. And exhaling to bring that hand back down, frame the foot, come forward in this lunge. Now go ahead and push yourself back on to this foot, on this back foot, and extend your right leg out long so you're in this like regular runner stretch. It's maybe a little bit uncomfortable if you're sitting on your sit bones, but hold this here for a deep breath in. Deep breath out, plant your hands back and push yourself up and forward back into this regular lunge. Plant your hands and tuck those toes behind you. Lift that knee, send it back for a plank, and slowly lower yourself down to your tummy. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Inhale yourself up to cobra or upward facing dog. If you want to lift those knees. And then tuck the toes, send the hips back for downward dog. We're going to go ahead and try and do the same thing on the opposite side now if you can. So pedal out those legs and get strong in these 4 points. As you inhale, lift the left leg up. Feel the stretch in the back of that right leg now. But keep those toes pointed down towards the ground. One more deep breath in and exhale, bend the knee, draw the foot up to your hands. You can move it up there a little if you need a little help. But feel this stretch, maybe in your right hip flexors, your left glutes. You can drop the knee down if you need a little bit of this stretch. A little bit deeper here in the hips. But we're gonna keep it lifted or keep it bent, whatever you have to do to find your balance and start to lift those hands up off the ground. Feel your core engaged, feel yourself pivoting from your hips. As you inhale those hands up to the sky, hold this here for one deep breath in, or you're down here on your knees for one more deep breath out. As you go ahead and plant your hands back down, framing that foot. Pressing your right hand into the mat now, twisting and lifting the left hand up and open. Feeling that stretch in your left glutes. You can drop the knee if you want here. For one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Plant your hand back down on the ground. Feel this stretch one more time. Now go ahead, untuck those back toes and push yourself back onto that right heel. Extending the left leg out long in front of you, using that heel to stretch out the area behind your knee. Go ahead, maybe touch the toes there if you need to. And then go ahead, plant your hands, move slowly back up into that lunge. Feel that one more time. Plant your hands, tuck the toes behind you, lift up into that plank. And instead of sending back into a regular plank, we're actually gonna just lift that foot up and come meet it, the other foot at the front of your mat, forward fold, and kind of just start to pedal out those legs. Letting your head drop, letting your hands move side to side, and coming back to that breath. If you lost it, I kind of did. Remembering to slowly inhale, slowly exhale. And inhale to start to walk those hands over to the left side of your body, framing the outside of your left foot. Let your head drop. As you come back to center, pedal out your legs again. And then walk them over to the outside of your right foot. Keeping your hips as parallel as they can be to feel that stretch in the back of your legs and coming back to center. And now go ahead and let your head drop one more time. Drop it a little bit more. Looking right at your knees or maybe even trying to look at your belly button. Slowly lift yourself up to a halfway lift so your hands are anywhere but your knees. You go ahead and just keep your core engaged. Your back is as flat as it needs to be. Doesn't have to look perfect. But your gaze is forward as you exhale and drop everything down. Inhale and rise everything up to a standing position. Our hands are by our sides for mountain pose. Feel that blood rush to your head. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feel the energy that you just created in your hands. Maybe wiggling your toes and feeling the energy down there where you're rooted right now. Take one more deep breath in. Inhale, lift the hands up to the sky. Reach, get as long as your body can go. Maybe you come up onto your tippy toes. Get long, get long, get long. You can't see my hands, but I'm reaching really tall. And drop them down. Fan your arms back down to your sides. Go ahead and walk your feet so that you're looking at the side of your mat now. And you can slowly start to heel toe your legs out. Just a little bit wider than hip length, or if you really need to stretch, a lot wider. And you're gonna put your fingertips up on the front like you're about to touch your belly button, and your thumb by your back dimples. And you're just gonna push those hips back, push them forward, and then push them back again. And when you feel them push back, start to pivot and hinge right there at the hips, letting your head, your hands drop once you feel that correct stretch in the backs of your legs. If you have that pillow or that blanket ball or a block, you can place it in front of you to give yourself a little bit more support. If you can't touch the ground all the way, just feel this wide-legged forward fold. We kind of did it before, but we were just on the ground. Now you can start to kind of push and compensate on each side of your hip. No lunge or anything, but just seeing how a little bit of a movement can change your stretch drastically. Take one more deep breath here and start to add a little bit of a bend to both of those knees. Now you're gonna come out wide. You're not gonna be able to get down here, and that's okay, but you're gonna start to walk your hands off to your left foot. Give yourself this little side lunge. Inhale and exhale, lunge a little deeper. Inhale, come back to center and drop off to the other side. You can go as far or as micro movement as you need, as you move back and forth through these little lunges. Getting this inner thigh, this adductor stretch, in whatever way you have to for just one or two more times until you come back to center. And you plant your hands and heel toe those feet just a little bit in. So now they are just a little bit wider than hip length. And start to lower those hips down. You can place that pillow behind you or that block so that you have a little seat if you want. Over here in goddess squat, if you don't want to keep your hips lifted, you can place it there, but you still call yourself a goddess or a god, whoever you are and you're watching. But use those elbows, your hands are at your chest or your heart, and you can push those knees open with those elbows. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, sending breath to your hips. Take another deep breath in, another deep breath out. Go ahead, plant your hands down in front of you. Send those hips up and back, stretch out those legs long, drop your head, heel toe, your feet back together and let yourself drop. Rotate yourself back to look at the front of your mat. Hanging here in forward fold. Let your hands grab opposite elbows and sway side to side in ragdoll. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Plant your hands out in front of you and just slowly walk your feet back so you get back down into that down dog position. Pedal out those legs. And then find a moment of stillness here for this down dog. This is going to be one of like the last heart rate increasing things that we do. So hang with me for just a little bit longer. Inhale that right foot up to the sky. Bend the knee and just kind of open that hip up. Three-legged dog. It's like you're about to flip your dog if that's in your practice, but just keep this hip here and then inhale it back up to center, make it long and gently lower it back down onto the ground. Pedal out those legs or drop down to child's pose if that's a little too intense. But come back up, press into that right foot and inhale the left foot up. Stretch it long, bend the knee and open up. Open that hip for three-legged dog. Take a deep breath in, feel that hip open. And then bring the leg long back to the center and lower it back down to meet the right. Pedal out those legs. Inhale the right leg up and bend at the knee. Draw it up to your hands. Take a deep breath in. And let this back foot come out to an angle. Drop it down and lift yourself up to warrior one. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, drop your hands down beside you. Interlace them behind your lower back. And just stretch your chest and your shoulders up and open. This is either peaceful or humble warrior. I think this is peaceful. Well, it's peaceful right now. So breathe to it for one more breath. Lift your chin up. Exhale, release those fingers. Inhale your hands up, regular warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Your hands come out wide, your gaze comes to the front fingertips. But they're out to a T. Inhale them back up, warrior one last time. And then exhale, fan them back down, frame the foot. Come back, both legs, both feet forward. Runner's lunge, send that right foot back, high plank. You can come to low plank or lower yourself to your stomach, but move right up into cobra. Upward facing dog with your inhale. Exhale, tuck those toes. Downward dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other foot, and then we can relax. So inhale the left leg up to the sky. Draw the knee to the nose and plant the foot up by your hands. Let that back foot fan open and get strong with it flat into the ground. Inhale those hands up, warrior one. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, get strong here. As you exhale, fan your arms down, powerful, and interlace them behind your back. As you stretch your chest and your shoulders back and open with your chin up to the sky. Peaceful warrior again for 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Lift them back up to the sky. Fan them out to a T. Keep your gaze forward, warrior 2. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Feel those thighs engaged. Your quads are gonna thank you tomorrow. Inhale them up, warrior 1. Exhale, fan that front foot. Bring that back foot forward like you're in a runner's lunge. Drop that back knee. Bring the top of that foot out onto the mat. You're gonna hold this lunge here and start to bring that foot out to the outside of your mat. So now it's on the outside of your hand. And just feel this stretch. You can either place your hand on your knee and have it come open for lizard lunge, or you can just keep it in a regular lunge for a moment. Start to heel toe that foot back in. Plant your hands, tuck your toes behind you. Inhale and bring that foot up to meet your left foot. Forward fold. Let your head drop. Sway side to side. Slowly lift to halfway lift. Hands anywhere but your knees, core, back muscles engaged. And exhale, drop and let everything go. Now inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Hands come up to the sky. Stretch as wide as you can. I know you can't see me, but I'm stretching. Reach up as much as you can. Get long. Swan dive those hands out and down. Forward fold. Go ahead, plant your hands. Bring those feet out wide for high plank. Keep this plank here. And inhale to draw that right foot up. We're gonna do that same lizard lunge on the other side. You can drop that back knee. Tuck the left foot onto the ground. And let this right foot come to the outside of your mat, outside of that right hand. And let that knee kind of press open. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Start to heel toe that foot back to center. Plant your hands and just send both legs back long. Lower yourself onto your stomach. Your hands can come out to a T. They can come down by your sides, or you can just keep your hands and your forearms pressed into your mat. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, bend your right leg. Grab that foot and just feel the stretch in your quads as you pull that right heel into your sit bones. Now go ahead, let it go. Inhale your left foot up now. Go ahead, do the same thing. Draw that heel into your butt cheek. Really feel that stretch in your quad. Now keep this foot here as you inhale and bend that right leg again. See if you can hold both of them at the same time. And just stretching them both simultaneously. Feeling the same stretch, making the same pull and release with your breaths. Now go ahead and keep this hold here if you have it. Inhale, lift your chest up and lift your knees up as well, kicking yourself, kicking your feet back, stretching out your shoulders, lifting up for bow pose, bouncing on your pelvic bone for 3, 2, 1. Slowly drop everything to the ground. Your feet come down, your hands come up to your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and sigh everything out. Bend both knees up and have those feet drop off side to side. It's like you're making little windshield wipers. Take another deep breath in. Now go ahead and plant your feet back down. Push yourself up to a cobra. Push yourself back into a tabletop, okay? And we're gonna one last time, tuck those toes underneath, lift those knees, send the hips up back. Inhale the right foot up and back, and then draw the knee up and try and get your shin as parallel to the front of your mat as you can. I have mad knee and hip problems, so my leg is not parallel, but this is pigeon pose. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, stay on after and I'll show you how to do the reclined version because it's helped me with my knee. But feel this stretch here as you drop down with your exhale, slowly lowering, feeling the stretch in your glutes here, deep in that bum after sitting all day, deep in those hips. And slowly lowering to see if you can bring that forehead down to the mat for one deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. Now go ahead, drop off onto that right hip. Swing your left leg out in front of you and come into a seated position. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Now just keep that left leg bent just like how it is. Drop off onto that left hip. And then tuck that right, or I guess swing that right leg back out long. Plant your hands out in front of you. Just kind of lift yourself up so you can get into that same pigeon pose on this opposite side, on our left side. Try and find that same or a similar stretch here as you begin to lower yourself down onto your mat. Bring your forehead to follow. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Drop onto that hip, swing the right leg around so you're in this seated position again. Scoot your bum forward and use your hands to guide you onto your back. You can come onto your forearms first and let yourself get there however you got to get there, but we're staying on our backs for now. So find yourself a comfy space. Maybe you put a little pillow or a blanket ball behind your head. But bend both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Nice wind relieving pose. And the name has a reason, so that's why you all are muted. Go ahead and allow yourself to roll side to side. Let any of your body stuff come up because this is great for the end of the day and being bloated and feeling gassy, all that good stuff. Take a deep breath in. And send those legs up and long. Now extending them up to the sky. Feeling this long stretch in the back of your legs. Maybe you hold behind your knees. And you just start to bring those knees into your nose. Lifting your hips up. Little micro lifts. And seeing if maybe if you can get those hips up off the ground. You can get your hands under there too. Just like this. And just start to see if you can hold yourself here. Nice little balance. And maybe, just maybe, you start to lower those legs and those knees down to the ground behind your head. Take another deep breath in. And if this is a part of your practice, you can go ahead and do, Michelle, if you do shoulder stands or you do deaf yogi and plow, all that good stuff. If you know those poses and you want to do them here, do not let me stop you. So we're all going to slowly, wherever you are, come back into that tucked knee to chest hug, rocking side to side. And then grabbing our feet underneath our feet and lifting those legs up for happy baby. Rocking side to side. Getting whatever last stretch you need here. Because when you release this happy baby pose, and your feet and your hands, wherever they lay naturally, is where you can enjoy your few moments of Shavasana, the end of our practice. I invite you to just lie here for a moment uninterrupted as I dim the lights for you. I have a passage in a moment, so just allow yourself a moment of bliss. So this is just some advice to ourselves, to myself, to us all, to leave the dishes, to let the celery rot in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator, and an earthen scum harden on the kitchen floor. Let the wind have its way, then the earth that invades as dust, and then the dead foaming up in gray rolls underneath the couch. Talk to them. Tell them they are welcome. All the little invasions that may enter your mind, your home, disrupting your schedule, your to-do list for the day, just welcome them. Welcome them as a part of your schedule. Pursue the authentic. But you must decide first what is authentic. Then go after it with all of your heart. Your heart, that place, you don't even think of ever cleaning out, right? Accept new forms of life. Allow yourself to talk to the dead, to talk to those who have passed, to talk to the new, to talk to what you want to grow inside and outside of yourself, all the parts of your heart who drift in through the screened windows, who collect patiently on the tops of food jars and books, recycle the mail, don't read it, don't read anything except what builds the insulation between yourself and your experience, or what pulls down, or what strikes at, or what shatters this ruse you call necessity. Allow yourself to think of whatever that passage may have spoken to as you start to bring some wiggles and some life back into your fingertips and your toes. And you make your way back up into a seated position, however you have to get there. We can all come together with our eyes closed just for one moment. I'm closing my eyes too. To inhale those hands up to the sky one last time, bringing our hands together. Inhaling in thanks and exhaling out love for ourselves and for everyone, especially the people that I did this specific class for. Go America, go Bets, I had to say it. And lower those thumbs down to your forehead, where I welcome you all to kind thoughts. And bow and lower those hands to your lips, where I welcome you all to kind words. And lastly, bringing your hands to heart center, where I welcome you all to kind souls. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Namaste. And you can say that in your own little house, your space, if you want, or if you don't even know what namaste means, and then you have some research to do tonight. So all of you, I appreciate you staying on. I'm not entirely sure who is all, oh, lovely people. So yes, thank you guys so much for hopping on that. That is all that I have for you. So I'm just going to stop the recording now.